I had Connor Ann Waterman herself legitimately thinking for 5 straight days that she was going to a hotel to meet John Cena, the famous wrestler, actor, producer, John Cena himself. I am so jealous that you're going to see Mission Impossible this evening, and the fact that you're going alone. I love going to the movies by myself.
It's really great. Just grab some food. Sometimes I go like a little too hard. I'll get like a whole pizza, sneak it into a movie theater.
Wait, how are you sneaking the pizza?
Oh, big sweatshirt under the big sweatshirt? No one ever.
Just a whole pizza box under the sweatshirt?
I'm convinced you could sneak anything you ever wanted into a movie theater. They don't care. What are they going to do? Stop it right there. Lift your shirt up. They would never.
Be like, all right, it's time for you to lift that shirt up. And you're like, sir, I'm not taking my top off in the lobby of a movie theater. I'm sorry.
I know my boobs look like a giant square, but it's not what you think.
I know my chest kind of smells like pizza, but it's not what you think.
It's just my perfume. Yeah, I'm excited to see it. Tom Cruise, I mean, come on. Absolute legend.
Yeah. Well, how is he looking so young these days and doing? Is he one of those Hollywood folks that are like drinking the blood of children? Is that what's going on with him?
Honestly, probably. Word on the street is he's kind of weird, so it could be.
And he does all his own stunts. Did you see that stunt where he flew the motorcycle off of the cliff?
So good. He's like, all right, reset. I'm going to hold on to the motorcycle a little longer next time and risk my life. It'll look better on camera. I love it.
And
the dedication.
He did multiple takes, right?
Oh, yeah. They did like 15 takes in one day. And they interviewed people on the crew that were like, he will not quit. Tom is intense.
All right. I just looked it up. Tom Cruise is 61 years old. If I was doing that at 41, I would feel like I just won at life. He's 20 years past 41 and he's jumping off of cliffs multiple times.
It's all the cult things that he does. That must be what it is.
Honestly, should we be joining a cult? I mean, if this is what you get by joining a cult, it can't be that bad.
If we're following in the footsteps of Tom Cruise from here on out, life is going to get so weird. We just become Scientologists. Is that what they call them? Scientology. If you believe in Scientology, if you subscribe to that, are you a Scientologist?
100%.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Man. I've never really looked into that, but it's just all that kind of stuff kind of freaks me out.
Yeah, the Scientology is definitely very weird. It's very controversial. They have a very large real estate portfolio too. So anytime that churches start making a lot of money, because churches are tax-free entities. So anytime churches start making a lot of money, it's very suspect, raises a lot of red flags.
It's kind of crazy to think how many churches there must be in America. If you probably did. Are you Googling that? How many churches there are in America? Just think of all that land. Yeah. Just all the property that doesn't have to pay taxes. That's insane.
Oh my God. When I Google how many churches are in the United States, it has to spin forever just to count it. And I have a nice computer. That's how many churches that there are. There are. Do you want to take a guess at this? Are you guessing over 200,000, under 200,000? What's your sense telling you here? I
was going to say over 1 million.
Ooh, over 1 million. Okay. So that's a little high. Not everyone can start a church. So the estimated number of churches is 380,000.
380,000. Oh my gosh. That's insane.
With California leading the way, 23,558 churches.
That's so many. That's nutty.
That's a lot of churches. And you don't feel, California doesn't give you a really religious vibe, but I guess it's the sheer size of it. What's interesting is Texas is pretty big. And also you feel that Texas is fairly religious as well. but Texas is not in the top 10 for the most amount of churches.
What about Louisiana?
Louisiana also not in the top 10.
Really?
Ooh, I actually totally fibbed. I just didn't scroll down. Texas is number one. Sorry. Oh my God, what a goof that was. I thought I was going to be all mysterious and present you a crazy statistic. No, the statistic is exactly what you think it should be. Texas is number one with 27,000 churches.
Well, speaking of churches, did you see that thing online? The girl who was like pointing and screaming at a passenger and she got kicked off the plane. I say speaking of churches because I think she needs a little Jesus, but did you see it?
I did see it. It was one of the most crazy videos. And I mean, there's so many ways that you can talk about this. For example, you know, when you land and everyone goes, "How was your flight?" And usually everyone just says, "Oh, it was fine," right? Even if it wasn't fine and you sat next to someone horrible, or if it was amazing and you had a great experience, or you watched 7 episodes of Entourage and it was a great time.
Yeah, not a lot of out of the box things happen on airplanes.
Yeah, you're flying in a steel tube with 170 other people. Not super exciting. But for the guy that sat next to this woman, boy, does he have a story.
Holy shit. So to recap, if no one has seen it yet, Google woman who freaks out on plane. I swear it'll be one of the first ones that popped up. But basically what happened was she was sitting next to this guy, her and the guy, just getting ready to putting their things away, getting ready to go on the flight. He says something to her, or so she says. And she stood up, very visibly freaked out, and she's power walking down the aisle, screaming her head off, saying, "That man is not real." That man back there is not real. Actually, she said, "That MF is not real," multiple times. It's actually quite funny, kind of scary, because, even though everyone's like, "Oh, what a Looney Tune lady," if I heard somebody point at a total stranger and say that person's not real, and then she says in the video, "If you all want to die on this plane today, go for it. I'm getting out of here." And then they got her off the plane. If somebody said, "You can all die, I'm out," even though I don't believe her, I would probably also be out. Just based on the scary, she's like foreshadowing something. I hate it.
So you would be out because you were scared. I would try to get off the plane because I think it would be an awesome prank. So hear me out here. Would you maybe get in on the fun if this happened again and some lady does the same exact thing? She's walking down the aisle. She's like, "That MFR is not real." Would you jump in and you kind of look and you're like, "Oh my God, I see it too. He's not real. Everybody run," right? Like, that would be kind of sick if you jump in on the prank, because they're probably not. Now, is that illegal and can you get in big trouble for that?
Yes.
I totally think you can, but I don't think that you will, because you'll just attribute it to having a mental breakdown, and no one is going to say, "We're going to arrest this guy because he had a full-on mental breakdown." I feel like you can shield yourself and make the prank pretty solid, because if you're saying, "Hey, that guy, I agree with her. That guy, he's not real." And then what if someone else jumps in, like you and I are sitting next to one another, and then I say it, and then I kind of pinch you, like the secret pinch, like, "Hey, jump in on this prank." And then you go, "Oh yeah, that's a ghost."
How many people do you need though? Is 3 the number you would need? Or like for more people to tack on, like what's the minimum number of people agreeing to the crazy for other people to get scared?
It's a great question. I'm thinking one person says it in addition, and it doesn't rise to the level of worrisome just yet. I think 2 people say it, then it starts to say, "Ooh, maybe there's something here." I think the magic number here is 3 additional people. So 4 people in total. I think you're starting pandemonium. And I think other people start going along with it too, because they're so freaked out. They just want off the plane. Now, do they really think this person's not real? Probably not, but they probably, like you said, they don't want to take the chance.
No.
I want off this plane. If there's a ghost or a lizard person or whatever, and he's sitting in 40B, I'm out.
Not real. I just like thought it was so good. Oh my gosh. Leave it to you to turn like a mental breakdown into a prank.
I mean, I see opportunity where opportunity lies.
Ugh, whatever. Okay. I guess there's never been a more perfect time to, you guys, I don't want to do this, but we should, just to be able to give you context. So Kenny pranked me harder than I've ever been pranked. This was not a flash mob style prank. This was a multi-day, very elaborate, many person involved prank. So let's break this down a little bit. Where do we begin?
I would say let's take it to the very beginning. And I'll give you kind of the hook of why you shouldn't tune out. So the 30,000 foot headline is here. I had Connor Ann Waterman herself legitimately thinking for 5 straight days that she was going to a hotel to meet John Cena, the famous wrestler, actor, producer. John Cena himself. Connor Ann thought it was going to be her big break, and she was going to meet him. And Connor, why don't you take us back to the beginning of the prank, and then we'll run through it. And then for the audience, we will put the link to the full YouTube video where you can see Connor Ann's reaction, and it was amazing. We'll put the link to the full video inside of the show notes.
All right. So basically what happened was there was a Twitter, what do I call it? Like a Twitter contest of sorts that we entered me in. I say we because Kenny and I saw this and we were like, ooh, this could be a really good opportunity to get a little exposure on Twitter for travel nerds. So we make a video, post the video, and from that video post on Twitter, John Cena, the real John Cena, not Kenny moonlighting as John. John Cena followed me on Twitter. Now, in retrospect, I realize John Cena follows a bunch of MFs on Twitter, and I am not special. But at the time, I was like, oh my God, John Cena, what is happening? Kenny takes this information and builds an evil mastermind of a plan. Mastermind of a plan? He's an evil mastermind of this plan. So
Guilty.
What happens is Kenny receives a message from John on Twitter, which is crazy. Screenshots it and sends it to me. I'm at the gym. I fall to my knees. I'm freaking out. I'm screaming at the gym because John Cena messaged Kenny and asked him if he could meet with me to talk about projects and things. Now, I'm an actor. I'm a sucker for somebody. Much less people than John Cena could have sent this message and I would have been excited. John saying this, holy shit. So, oh my God, John Cena wants to talk to me about projects. Like, oh, I'm an actor. Oh my God, he's MCs. What if he wants me to MC something? This is cool. So
your mind was racing. I was like, going crazy.
What could this be about? So turns out John Cena did not actually message Kenny on Twitter. Kenny is a Photoshop boy, and he Photoshopped John Cena's message. Like it's honestly so maniacal. You're a psychopath. That's just the beginning. Okay, you guys, that's just the beginning. So basically it was Diva, Kenny's wife, messaging Kenny the message that was perfectly crafted. And then he just Photoshopped John Cena's thing at the top. Completely fell for it. I'm scared to tell everyone how gullible I am just because I don't know like what will come my way from strangers. Next phase of the plan was actually building the meetup. So Kenny, what did that look like for you on an evil scale?
So on an evil scale, this was maniacal. And it was actually kind of hard because I had to lie to you, and I had to schedule this in to fit into my schedule. And so I had to make this meetup happen 5 days after I sent you the photoshopped conversation between me and John.
5 days. So, do you guys hear this? 5 days. What's 24 times 5? How does lying to me feel?
Lot.
How does lying to me feel? Because you're
honestly,
really good at it. And I hate you.
Honestly, it did. Honestly, it did not feel good. There were times where I had a lot of fun doing it, and I was like, "Wow, she's buying this." And there were times where I'm like, "Ooh." So the calculus was, whenever you prank someone, there is this off chance that they won't take it well. And I feel like I know Connor. I've known you for about like a year now, working pretty closely with you and then doing the show. So I feel like you're a pretty good sport and that I know you, but I know that when people cross you, they're dead to you. So you're unforgiving. So you're very sweet, very kind. But if someone crosses you or does someone wrong, that's it. They're dead. They're done. And so I knew that about you. I'm not sure if you know that about yourself, but that's kind of how you treat people. So am I wrong? Come on.
I would never say you're dead to me, but yeah, like the old new phone who dis might apply here.
Yeah, like you exit them from your life, basically, right?
Right. Exited, stage left from that. Yeah.
Bye-bye. So basically what I did is I sent her the screenshot. We'll put it up on the screen here again. And in the screenshot, John Cena basically asks me to call him because he doesn't want to operate in DMs, as famous people can't, right? So I hypothetically talk to John Cena and his manager, and he runs me through the whole thing. He explains why he's being a little cryptic. And he's like, listen, you're Connor Ann's co-host. I know that you know her. Could you set this up? I think it'll be good for her. She's really talented. I listened to the podcast.
Just to clarify for the listeners, that whole conversation he just had never happened. And he's just that no one's calling anybody.
Yeah. So it's just it's totally like a whiff. And so anyway, I tell her that I had this thing, and I said, cause I needed time to set this whole thing up. So I said, later in the week, John Cena is going to nail down the details with his manager. And then I tell her this. And now inside the prank, I needed to know who I was dealing with. And I know Connor. I know her well, but I needed to know exactly who I was dealing with. So I said, and this was stolen from Leonardo DiCaprio, because I heard when he hooks up with girls or people come to his house for like parties, he makes them sign an NDA. So I was like, if Leo is making people sign an NDA, John Cena is probably doing the same thing. So I literally tell Connor Ann, Con, you cannot tell anyone about this. We don't know what this is about. And she's like, oh my God, I promise you, looks me dead in the eye. Right. I'm FaceTiming with her. I don't remember that. Oh, you're such a bullshitter. She looks me dead in the eye. We're on FaceTime. And she's like, I promise I'm not going to say anything. Then 24 hours later, she's told her dad. She's told Amy. She's told her brother Kogan. She's told 2 other people. I think that the count got up to 5 people.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, Connor, he's going to send you an NDA. You just told 5 people. And so,
first of all, I never signed a thing. So you can't fake sue me either. Second of all,
I'm not going to fake sue you. It's much worse. You broke my trust.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's what this is about. Second of all, if someone tells you something and they say you can't tell anybody, to a girl, that means you can tell the 5 people you're closest with, and it's still
that's not a rule. That's not a rule.
It's literally an unspoken rule of womanhood. So
I need people to sound off. Clip this, post this on social. I need you in the comments. If you agree to say nothing and you tell 5 people, you've broken the rule.
No, that's not true. If it's the 5 people closest to you, you're good. If it's 5 random people, you broke this cone of silence.
All right. That's insane. But anyway, so basically she is untrustworthy, tells 5 people. And then over the course of a few days, I check in with her because I want to have a little fun with my girl. Right. And so I was like, how are you feeling? What do you think this could be? Her brain is spinning, right? She's so excited. Every time that I ask her, it lights up her day. She was walking on water for 5 straight days. I mean, literally angelic, like just, this is going to be the moment of her life. She nicknames herself Con Cena.
You know what? Right? It's a little PTSD-esque, you bringing all of this back to me right now. I was on cloud 9. Okay. I was. And honestly, next time you prank me, just like make that part last longer so I can just really live in that moment. Because the second I found out there is no John, those 5 days of me just being like, I am going to be in a John Cena film. It's just absolutely not true.
Now, I think I knew that I had you. So there was 2 things that I felt kind of put it over the edge. So I was actually going to enroll I had multiple people involved in the prank. I had people filming her walking in that she didn't know. So we have footage of her walking through the lobby. I got the hotel to play ball and send me the video from the elevator. So there were people involved in this thing.
Too many.
It was too many, but I had one of my friends agree to be John Cena's bodyguard. He's huge and he would have played the part awesome, but he kind of screwed me over and he canceled on me the day of the prank. So I had to find a way to get her up to the hotel room without having this guy walk her up. So the plan was that they would meet in John's room, go over some projects for 30 minutes, right? And then they were going to go upstairs and have dinner. So, a little bit of just casual meet and greet and a little bit of dinner.
Yeah. Wait, just to clarify, what he just said is what I thought. In the video, Kenny's like, Connor Ann thought she was going to meet John Cena in a hotel room. Listen, the deal was, I meet John in his room because John is wildly famous. We can't just be in the lobby or something. And then we were going to go to dinner. So it's not as raunchy as it sounds. It sounds bad. It's not. Yeah. So at first, did she think it was going to be raunchy? I don't know what was going through her head. But I would have been cool with that clear. Too. But it was, we needed to keep it PG. So I did say, hey, for the pod, listen, for the pod, because I knew this was going to be a bit, right? So I was like, and I didn't want to make you look bad, because he's married and stuff, right? So basically, I needed to have her get into the hotel room. So I needed to give her a key. So I went the morning of and got a key, but I was like, I need a way to give her the key. So we did 2 things. And Connor, I'll throw it back to you and I will let you explain how I got you this key. Cause I feel like that even sold the prank a little bit more. So Kenny's going to get some type of cardiac test at the hospital that day.
Correct.
And I'm at home and I'm all excited because this is the day, right? So I'm like, oh my God, it's today at 5 p.m. or whatever. So Kenny messages me and is like, hey, John Cena's bodyguard and I met up and I have the room key you'll need for tonight. So you have to meet me at the hospital and I'll give you your key. Drives an hour to the hospital, picks up this key.
Oh, 30 minutes. Stop.
Kenny's got his little peanut butter and jelly sandwich in his lunch bag. Here's your key. I'm going to go inside. And then I'm like, oh my God, I have the Holy Grail in my hand. I have this key card. This is all I need to become a movie star. So I drive an hour home. I'm losing my shit. I'm so excited. I get home. I'm too distracted to actually be on time. So I rock up to the hotel about 20 minutes late, which is kind of, listen, am I bad at time management? Yes. Is it kind of a sick move to be late to meet John Cena? Yeah. It wasn't also, John. Yes. So, if anything, it just makes my time management look really shitty. But I can't believe that if it was John, I would have been 20 minutes late. Yeah.
Yeah. And so one of the things that I feel really sealed the deal too is we bought a fake cell phone number. So because for security reasons, we really thought this through. For security reasons, the room key didn't have a number on it because John Cena's manager, who I talk to on the phone all the time, we're best buds, and John Cena's manager would text Connor Ann directly the room number 30 minutes before the meeting, this way to preserve John Cena's security, because we don't want to give it out during the day and then she's in there like a psycho crazy person. They don't know Connor, they just listen to the podcast, right? So she gets a text message from Sean, which is really Diana, one of her best friends, and they're texting back and forth. And basically Connor has the key and Sean is like, hey, I got tied up. You could just go straight up to the room. So Connor has the key, has the room number, and she's walking through the JW Marriott and she's on her merry little way to go see John Cena. And she opens the door and it's
Kenny,
me, Diana, and my wife.
Diana with signs, with like poster board that says, "You've been punked, Con Cena." And I walked in and I swear that feeling that right before I walked in the door, my brain was kind of spinning because I'm like, John Cena's staying in room 816. Like, that's so random. He's just staying in this random room in the middle of this hallway. Bizarre. So I was like, oh my God, maybe like I'm going into the wrong room. So when you watch the video on YouTube, you'll see me open the door in just the weirdest way. Cause I was like, maybe this is a setup. And then I opened the door and it's the biggest setup of all time. Egg on my face. Just crazy. Honestly, like, kudos to you guys. That was a whack ass prank. I've never... Am I gullible? Yeah. Has anyone ever tried to elaborately punk me so hard? No. And when I called Amy, she was mad. My best friend Amy was like, are you fucking serious? You're not actually meeting John Cena? And then when I called my grandma and told her, I was like, oh my gosh, all of this happened, blah, blah, blah. She was like, you're not meeting John Cena? I was like, no, grandma. And then I called my brother. Grandma. And I told my brother because I told him too, obviously. I made a public service announcement, and I called my brother, and Kogan's first reaction was, oh my God, your boss pranked you that hard? He must really like you.
Kogan, I knew I liked Kogan.
He's like, wow, they must really like you if, he went through all that work to prank you. I was like, I guess in a fucked up way, you're right.
It was like $800 just to prank you.
I know. And like everyone was in on it. It was... You guys, I want to say I've never said this yet, but really good job. Really, like,
thank you.
If I had to give you a grade, it'd be A+, because there were a lot of moving parts. I didn't think for one smidgen of a second that none of this was real. And you just did a great job. So, just know that you're incredible at pranking. It doesn't make you unprankable, and revenge will be swift. So,
well, it actually does make me unprankable. I don't think that you're going to get me. I don't even think that you'll try, to be honest. This is not like a challenge or reverse psychology. I just think that I'll end up getting you once before the year is over, and then you'll just fall in love with becoming pranked, and then you'll just be like, when's the next one? So that's actually what I think the course of events that will most likely happen.
I do think more people should be out here pranking each other. Prank your friends.
I think so too.
Like, why are pranks out of style? And when Impractical Jokers came on, that was right after Punked was already a thing. There was another one back in the day on MTV too. I just feel like, why did we go through like a prank phase in America and now we don't do it anymore? Pranks are funny.
Yeah, and pranks are never going to go out of style too. And I feel like the pranks that happen now are devious, mean, and they hurt people. So the catfishing thing, that's really pranking, but that's mean. So don't do that. I think a good
exactly what
prank,
you did. I literally got catfished so hard.
Oh my God. You know what? I've always dreamed of catfishing someone. I never thought I would catfish a chick, let alone you, which is just amazing. I think that there's something magical about pranking someone because there's a lot of effort. And I had a lot of people warn me not to do this too. But my grandmother told me that I shouldn't do it. And then she about faced after I was like, but wouldn't it be epic? And if it goes well, wouldn't it be something that we both remember, like possibly forever? And she's like, yeah, you should do it. So I convinced her. And then my wife said I couldn't do it because I was becoming obsessed with the prank. So there would be times where I had downtime and I'd be like, oh, let me call Connor and see how she's feeling.
Yeah, you guys, I would just be cooking dinner at 8 p.m. I'd get a call from Kenny being like, so are you just like over the moon about meeting John? Like, you are the worst. You were gassing me up twice as much as I was already doing it for myself. So yeah, you're the worst. I don't know how I'm going to prank you because you're highly skeptical, but we'll see. I feel like I have, I feel like I have the motivation, inspiration from you being the worst, lighting a fire under my ass to really get you.
I feel that. And now what I will say for the audience out there, you guys are going to be tempted to try to prank Connor Ann. And Connor Ann gets a lot of messages. Okay. Connor gets a lot of messages and she does screen them all through me. So am I going to let you prank Connor? No, I'm claiming her as the only person with the rights to prank her. So don't even try it because she sends me all the weird things that people say on the internet. And she's like, is this real? And I'm like, no.
Because I'm over here like, oh my gosh, this is real. Somebody does want me to take a free trip to the Maldives. They didn't.
Oh God.
The moral of the story,
it was a good prank.
Like just prank more people, prank your mom, prank your grandma, prank your best friend, prank your boss. That one might go south, but I'm going to do it. So if anyone's in here with me, we can start a Slack channel called Prank Your Boss.
Prank your boss. I love it. I love it. Have you ever thought of a prank that if you had the means or the time that you would want to do, but you just never got around to doing? My
dad is like obsessed with Pink, like the artist. Oh. That would be a fun one. If I had the means, as in like I freaking knew Pink. Yeah, for sure would prank my dad.
Oh, the surprise prank is actually one of the best ones. One of the ones, I don't know if this falls into the category of prank, but I loved watching those videos of Taylor Swift like crashing weddings. They were awesome.
Like a positive
and those are like
prank.
Pranks. Yeah. Like something amazing, like, or a hidden singer pops out and it's like this person's dream to meet them. Those are pretty cool. Would you consider those pranks?
Yeah, I think any prank is just like getting bamboozled. So yeah, for sure. That counts.
Yeah, maybe we can have Taylor Swift after she gets off tour involved in the next prank. But you're not a Taylor Swift fan, no? No. Did you?
She walks in the room. I'm just like, what's up? Who's this? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, shut up. You would go nuts for Taylor Swift. Just kidding.
I'd be like, oh my gosh, my favorite song you ever did was Hey Steven. She's like, thanks. That was 12 years ago. In conclusion, if you guys have any really good ideas for me to prank Kenny, please slide into hello@travelnerds.co. Actually, no, don't do that because he can access that email. Please DM me. They give a bunch of ideas you're just sifting through. DM me.
I'm like, this isn't going to work. This is a shit idea. I never fall for that.
You're responding.
Do you know? No, that would actually be the sickest is that I take it offline. I make a fake email. So the person thinks that they're working directly with you, but then they're really working directly with me. Then I turn them. And then that's part of like the stage 2 of the prank. One thing that I will ask the audience, and I usually just let you do the sign off on your own, right? But I'm jumping in here today. Okay.
Jump in.
This is what we need to do. We do this show for free. We don't have any sponsors yet. We're working on it, but we do the show for free. So I need you guys to go to YouTube.
Yeah.
Like the John Cena video, subscribe to the channel. Connor and I are going to Curacao together in 2 weeks. So at the end of the month, we'll be in Curacao. It's going to be sick. We're going to make crazy video content that's going to go exclusively to YouTube. So it's not part of the show, but it'll only go to YouTube. So please We do this for free. All that we ask is that you just give us one little tap. And that tap is all the payment that we need. Subscribe on YouTube, like the video. If you think it's funny, it's only 6 minutes. Share it with a friend and scheme up an idea to prank your mom. To prank whoever. You just can't prank. You can't prank Connor because she's mine.
Can't prank me, not for that reason, but you can't. Yes, please, honestly, please go on YouTube. We're going to put this John Cena video link within this video. So just click on it below, hop in there, subscribe to our YouTube at Travel Nerds. And yeah, you guys, any prank ideas you got, hit me up at Con Waterman on the gram. I need help here because I'm not good at this, but if we're going to pull this shit off, we got to work together as a team. All right. Well, I'll talk to you guys next week. That was our John Cena prank recap. Basically, the goal is that John Cena sees how stupid I was and then actually wants to meet up for a coffee. That would be ideal.
No. That is not the goal. The goal is John Cena sees this, contacts me, and then me and Cena go in together on stage 2. Now, stage 2, I actually have it written down and sketched out. It does involve Cena himself. So stage 2 cannot move forward if Cena's not involved. So if by any chance that Cena is in a jokester mood, just hit me up on the DMs, bro. Twitter, wherever you can find me. We'll prank Connor epic. And I know that you're involved with Make-A-Wish. We'll raise some money and we'll donate all the money to a charity. It'll be sick.
I would be so just absolutely blindsided, super upset if I got punked again for the same reason and the same topic. And then at the end, they're like, and we raised $200,000 for cancer. And then I just have to be like, yeah. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we're going to get out of here, but we'll see you next week. Later, nerds.